Live, driven by Mountain View Nissan of Cleveland. Welcome into our broadcast on this Tuesday afternoon. So glad to have you listening and now watching live on mixtv.tv. Glad to have you a part of the broadcast this afternoon. Well, we got a special event that's coming up pretty soon that we want the community to know about. It's a special fundraiser, actually a scholarship availabilities as well. And we're going to talk about putting all of those things together. It's a golf tournament coming up, Dustin Ledford Live Wide Open Golf Tournament that we're going to talk about and how people can be a part of that. And we're just going to go ahead and start off with some guest introductions right now and put it all together for you. Angie Bramlett is going to be joining me on my far left here. Angie, how are you?
I'm good.
So glad to have you in here. Right here we got Kamryn Woody right there in the middle. Kamryn, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right, good afternoon. And then we have Amy Teague on the very end over here.
Hello.
So good afternoon to everybody out there. So Angie, I think we're going to start off with you. I kind of alluded that we're getting ready to talk about the golf tournament, but let's talk a little bit in the beginning about what this is for and how all this kind of come to be. It's the 13th annual, by the way, as the shirts show us right there.
Yes.
Hard to believe it's been 13 years ago that we lost Dustin, isn't it?
It is really hard to believe, yes. And this golf tournament serves a main purpose to just put the word out about the dangers of drinking and driving and how bad the outcome of that can be.
You know, and it's something that I think we had spoke about this before previously. You know, you think about this time of the year, you get into the prom season, it just ended. You think about summer and stuff like that. People, young people and older people, actually, in the summer, you're out doing more things, and sometimes we're a little bit more careless in the summer because we're out partying and having fun at friends' house, going to pool events and on the lake, and sometimes we get behind the wheel and we really, really should. Am I right?
You're right. That happens way more often than it should.
Yeah. And unfortunately, that's what we're here to talk about today is how this happened to someone that a lot of people really cared a lot about in this community. Dustin Ledford passed away. Again, it was 13 years ago he was taken away from us, and we just want to make sure people are aware of the dangers of drinking and driving, but also coming together to rally around what we do in this community, which is a cause to try to not only bring awareness, but also maybe help families that can receive some scholarship money from this golf tournament. Am I right?
That's right. The money raised from the golf tournament goes to support a scholarship to all three of our local high schools. A senior that has been affected by the dangers of drinking and driving, or they can just write an essay about the dangers of drinking and driving. But the Ledfords just like to do that to give back to the community to help with finances going toward their college. And last year, I think, was the first year that our scholarship actually, it's $2,000 per student for each school.
So $6,000 for our community.
Yes.
Beneficiaries of this golf tournament.
Yes. And there is also, like, students that have won that scholarship in the past, if they go back and help the Ledfords with the golf tournament, they continue to get that scholarship. Not that much, but they do continue to get some type of scholarship from the tournament also.
That's a good lead-in. Kamryn Woody's right here in the center. And Kamryn, you have been a recipient of this scholarship in the past, right?
Yes, I received this scholarship in 2020, and it's been such a blessing. And it's 2023, and I still have just getting to know the Ledfords and everyone who helps out with the scholarship. It's been the biggest blessing to go alongside them and help them make everyone aware of the dangers of drinking and driving. And it's been such a blessing to take that with me through my college experience. So I encourage every high school senior and in the future to go ahead and apply for that scholarship, because it's been more than just a financial blessing to me, and I've gained so much more through that.
So it is something that I'm assuming you did some research when you were writing an essay about this.
Yes.
And really found what did you find out? What was the most staggering thing? Was it the number of people that probably pass away or are in accidents because of drinking and driving?
Yes, it was that, and just how common it is, and more than you would think. And like all the statistics are like very scary.
Right.
And I'm in college, and just stuff with even college students as well. It's just scary to be like that age around that, and yeah.
You know, it's one of the things where you don't want to kind of put people in pegs. That's why I was trying to be very careful earlier about, you know, it's not just teenagers, it's not just young adults. I mean, we all have heard, unfortunately, bad stories, all age people drinking and driving, and then the hazards of that. Again, it just seems to me that it's more prudent during this time of the year when we get outside, more people are doing more outdoor activities, and it seems to be partying a little bit more because of lakes and pools and things like that. So if you're listening or watching this, make sure that if you are doing things like that, first of all, you have a designated driver if you're going to have to do that. And second of all, don't ever assume that you are not impaired, that that you could just say, I'm okay, I can get behind the wheel and do this, because this is something that could affect not only your life for the rest of your life, but affect the other people that could be on the other side of that as well, someone that you may be in an accident with. Now, Amy's going to join us as well. Amy, I know that you're someone that has been a part of this really since the beginning, haven't you?
Well, kind of off and on a little bit. I've known Kim. My dad worked for Kim's dad, and so we've just been family friends and more in the back supporting, kind of like. But last year, a couple of years ago, they started a silent auction to go along with the golf tournament to help raise funds, and the community has been absolutely phenomenal with donating, and not just our Cleveland area, but Knoxville, Chattanooga, Crossville. They have absolutely just pulled together and sent us amazing donations. We have 40 packages right now.
Wow.
That we're auctioning off. The auction started Saturday morning, and it'll go till 1 o'clock on this coming Saturday at the golf tournament. And they can go, people can go, community can go to the Facebook page. It is Dustin Ledford Live Wide Open Silent Auction. If they go to the Dustin Ledford Live Wide Open Facebook page, there is a link that will take them to the silent auction page. Right now, we are up to, I think, about $3,500 in bids already, and this is just absolutely amazing. I told Kim last year I wanted and was believing for $5,000 in donations and bids, and so the community is being absolutely amazing in helping us get this. But we have we had applied for some donations, like tickets for Six Flags and Disney World and everything, and they reached out to us and said, we are going to give you charity safaris. And so we have 2 incredible safaris that are personal hunts. One is a 6-day hunt in Limpopo, South Africa.
Oh my goodness.
And so, and the other one is a 3-day hunt in St. Louis, Argentina. So they need to go on here, 5-star luxury accommodations,
Wow.
3 meals a day, $1,500 plus their airfare. The $1,500 will go back onto their trophy fee to get their trophies back to the United States. So I know we have some big game hunters out there. So y'all go to this silent auction page and bid on these hunts. Go to the silent auction page and bid on these incredible items that we have. And
there's a lot of good stuff on there.
It sounds like it.
There really
Look who snuck in here with us. Kim, how are you?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Well, it's good to see you today. Thanks for coming in and brightening all of these faces. You walked in the door and then everybody
I don't have my shirt
Well,
on,
that's all right. We're going to let you pass today. How about that? So this auction seems to be doing well.
It is going
but we
well.
need to get some more traction.
We need some more, because the silent auction is also going towards the Scholarship Foundation.
Okay.
So every single dollar that is bid is going, towards the scholarship. And,
Wow.
You were talking about the dangers of drinking and driving impaired. This is such a preventable tragedy.
It really
It
is.
is so preventable. Call a friend, call an Uber, call a cab, just please don't get behind the wheel and drink and drive.
Absolutely.
Or be impaired and drive.
That's such good information, Kim. I know that you didn't come in prepared with a script or anything, but you've kind of gotten to be an old hand at this. So, what would you want this listening audience to know this afternoon? What is something, I know sometimes in your heart you just have a message that you want to share?
Well, I was listening on the way here from the doctor's office, but like Amy said, it's such a preventable crime, and just don't do it.
Yeah.
I don't care if you want to drink and if you want want to drink,
Sure.
just don't get behind the wheel of a car and do it, because then it becomes everybody in this community.
Right.
It involves everybody, not just because you never know who you're going to affect.
That's right.
And
And then the level too. It's not like you don't have to be completely gone in your mind. I mean, you could just be what we would call buzz driving.
Yes.
It is very dangerous as well.
It is.
Especially in the heat of the summer and things like that. I keep alluding back to that, but it's one of those things that if you think in 1% of your mind that you shouldn't be driving, then you shouldn't be driving.
Exactly.
And there's so many other options, as you ladies are saying out there. So please consider those options, and don't be someone that we are doing a golf tournament for. I mean, I don't really know the way to say it. I mean, that's a statistic that we don't want to have to be nice if we ever never had to do this again, right?
Exactly.
Right.
I mean, so that's why we're putting it out there for. But through the pain and everything, the positivity, the Ledfords, I mean, you guys, tremendous. So to continue on with Dustin Ledford's foundation here, and the golf tournament, Live Wide Open. You and I have talked about Dustin before. Live Wide Open, that was his mentality, wasn't it?
yes, sir, it was.
I mean, that's why we name it that, because...
And you know, I look at this golf tournament and I think so much. What would he say to me if
Sure.
he could be here to say something?
Yeah, I know what he would say.
I'm just honored that I get to, first of all, that I got to be his mama, that
Sure.
God chose me to be his mama. And I'm just honored that I'm able to do this and bring about awareness so another family doesn't have to go through this.
Absolutely.
And I would be amiss if I didn't take just a minute to, first of all, thank this community for their tremendous support, not only with silent auction items, with sponsorships. Every year it just gets bigger, and I never dreamed it would become what it has. And then these ladies that have taken on, I was doing it by myself. And
Right.
Physically, I just couldn't do it anymore. And I think there's 7 of them that have replaced what I was doing.
The Magnificent Seven, huh?
And I am so grateful to each and every one of them, because it's taken a lot of pressure off of me.
Sure. And I'm sure it's given you time to not only build friendships and relationships, but given you a little time to breathe. Because I'm sure in the beginning it was something that gave you a drive, but at some point you gotta pass that torch off and let somebody else help carry that load. And you've
And
done
then
that
these
tremendously.
precious kids that we've met.
Yeah. Oh, along the way, yeah.
They've become ours.
They become your part of your family. That's right. Again, we're talking about we got a host of ladies in the studio with us this afternoon. Basically, we're here to do 2 things. We're here to let people know about the dangers of drinking and driving. Hopefully that's something, if you get nothing else out of this conversation, we've at least been able to spark a conversation that you can have with your kids now. Because I say this all the time when we have different interviews about different things, and I'm a firm believer in this. It's hard with kids these days, teenagers, young adults, just to open up a conversation code. Just say, hey, I want to talk to you about something, because then everybody gets defensive.
Yes.
They're like, I don't do that. Why are you talking to me about that for? But if you have a platform like this, hey, I was listening to the radio. Hey, there were some very nice people on there. I know these people. Know Angie, I know these people. And they were talking about this. I think it's time for us to sit down and talk about this a little bit together. Call me if there's ever a situation that you're uncomfortable in, as far as maybe you got somewhere and you did something that you don't particularly do, but you did this time. Call me. I'll be there, because that's a phone call you would rather receive as a parent
Exactly.
than the other phone calls.
Yes.
So again, use this, if nothing else, use this as an opportunity to sit down and have a conversation with your young people. And I'm going to ask all of you, do you think, what age is too young to talk about this, you would think? I mean, I would think anyone that's 14 and above.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, those opportunities are there for people to be impaired. And when I say 14, I know they're not driving, but they're still in a situation.
There's that temptation, and there's the push
Peer
to peer pressure.
Peer pressure, that's exactly right. So have that conversation with those young folks, and make sure they understand the dangers and the results of drinking and driving, being out there. Okay, let's go back to the task at hand. The Dustin Ledford Live Wide Open Golf Tournament coming up this weekend, right?
Yes.
Sir.
Flagstone, am I right? I'm trying to remember in my head. So Flagstone, What do we need to know about that? Is there any opportunities still hold sponsorships? Are we all booked up, or we're here to really talk about the auction or anything else? Kim says money is always acceptable.
They can go ahead and call us and put their name in for next year.
Okay, so that's a good thought.
The program's already made for this year, but I mean, you never know. But we, mainly we could use some volunteers. If there's anybody out there that wants to come volunteer, especially on Friday, we're needing to move like a recliner, kayak, all kinds of things for the silent auction. If anybody out there with a truck is not busy on Friday at about 4:30, look me up and I'll tell them where to go.
Okay, on your Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook is fine.
And you can get a first look at the silent auction things as well.
Yes.
Because you can still do that because you got till Saturday, right?
Yes.
Look at Kamryn coming in there with a home run hit. But again, the silent auction items is a way that the scholarships are given. You said you guys have pushed that up. It's $2,000 for each school now, so $6,000 total being awarded in this community. Besides the scholarship money, Kamryn, you said it's not only the money, but it's just the relationships and the family you feel like you're a part of now.
Yes, definitely. I feel like I could go to Miss Ledford with anything, and she would be right there for me no matter what. So I'm so grateful for the financial help as well, but definitely the relationships outweigh that.
And is there another announcement can we do that other thing that we talked about? Is that okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
Is it okay?
She's wearing a little extra piece of jewelry today.
Piece of jewelry there.
Yeah.
So Kamryn, tell us about it.
I'm embarrassed.
You're embarrassed.
A little.
Her precious now fiance Parker proposed to her last Thursday, and she said yes.
I knew about it before she did.
See, there you go. There's that family relationship again from this.
So after the golf tournament, I've got to start planning a wedding.
Yeah.
I've just got to get past the golf tournament
You have to pass the golf tournament first. But that is
the silent auction package.
Yes.
So we need a wedding venue in the silent auction, right?
Yes.
Because you would bid on
I
that.
would bid on that, definitely.
Or trip,
A honeymoon trip. They can go on a safari.
Yeah, there you go. So there's other opportunities already needs to come together for this.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to come back down the panel just one more time. I know we've kind of bounced around here, but Angie, let's start off with you. So tell us what you definitely want this interview to get across today.
Well, mainly I wanted to get across the dangers of drinking and driving, and just don't do it. And secondly, that's a choice. Everybody has a choice when it comes to that. The driver that hit and killed Dustin made that choice to get in the car. The Ledfords did not make the choice to lose their son that night. Right. So that's, most importantly, that's the main thing I would like to get across, is just don't drink and drive.
Okay, Kamryn?
I would have to agree that I always knew the dangers of drinking and driving, but this scholarship and this foundation has taught me that over and over and over, and I'm never too aware of that. So I agree with my mom, and that's the main thing.
Good. All right. So Amy, I guess you're going to hit us up on the silent auction again.
And if the community wants to donate, please get in touch with us. We will take items and hold them for next year. I just want to say thank you to everybody who has contributed to the donations and everything. So it's going for a worthy cause, and we're going to make it bigger next year.
Now, Amy, did you mention the website or where they go for the silent auction?
It is actually on the Facebook page.
Okay.
Go to the Dustin Ledford Live Wide Open Silent Auction. It's a Facebook page all on its own. And they can they can follow, they can share. That's where they'll go and make their bids, place their bids.
Now, Angie, you're saying a recliner was a part of this
There's
silent
a
auction?
recliner, there's a kayak.
There's a gold coin.
A gold coin.
We have several Airbnbs that are on here. We have trips to Dollywood, tickets to Dollywood, to the Tennessee Aquarium, Georgia Aquarium, rounds of golf at Lake Tansy and Toccoa, as well as Flagstone and Falcon Point.
A massage, I saw that one.
There is something for everyone.
There's
So
something.
go ahead and go look at it.
Yes.
Yeah, just take the time and do that. Please do.
Yes.
And you're helping folks right here in our community. So please do this with scholarship funding and then also with the message that they are putting out there with this golf tournament. All right, Kim, we're going to come over to you. Last and final word. I know that you want to thank this community again for rallying around you and your family. But that never gets old, does it? Never does.
And I think as a mother, my biggest fear when Dustin got killed was that he would be forgotten.
Definitely not.
I know that he won't be, and I know that there are kids that are benefiting. You know, I said that if I could stop one person from drinking and driving, then Dustin didn't die in vain.
Amen for that. And I believe that you have over the years with these messages and the golf tournaments and the essays and the people that's been affected by it and them receiving that. A lot of times we talk about breaking cycles, and that's what sometimes it is.
Yes.
Sometimes parents do things they shouldn't do, and the kids see it, and it's all about getting that message out there and breaking cycles. That's part of the society that we need to make sure we're taking care of. Well, ladies, it's great to have you in. Always good to see your beautiful faces. And Kim, you know this community loves you. We love you here at the radio station. Anytime you need something, you know where we're at.
Thank you so much.
All right, that's going to wrap it up. Share this. You know, we were Facebook Live a while ago on mixtv.tv. Share this interview with people there. Again, that beginning of a conversation, just share the video with family, friends, and let them see the impact that they could have by making such a bad decision for drinking and driving. Then also make sure that you go and you go ahead and do bidding on some of these things that's on there, and show up 4:30.
4:30 on Friday. We need a little bit of help.
Need
yes.
some help. Angie said, hit her up on her Facebook.
Yes.
And bring a truck.
Bring a truck.
A couple of strong
Muscles.
guys.
Strong guys.
Yes.
And that's what we need.
And I want to encourage kids to go ahead and apply for his scholarship as soon as it's up for next year.
Okay. All right. We'll be looking forward to that. Ladies, thanks so much.
Thank you.
We're going to take just a quick break. We'll be back with more in just a moment. Stay with us. Mix 104.1 WCLE.